World War I was one of the deadliest wars in the history of our planet, claiming the lives of over 9 million soldiers and 7 million civilians. It caused massive damage in the social and government structures of many countries in the world and laid the foundations for World War II. The advances in technology, paired with old-fashioned fighting methods, led to the slaughter of millions on and off the battlefield. It forever changed the perception of war that most people held. Authors like Hemingway, Wilfred Owen, Erich Maria Remarque, and Charles Edward Montagu wrote about the war in graphic and honest detail, bringing a sense of horror to the concept of war that shattered all thoughts of the glories of war. Despite all of this, in the first year of the war, something miraculous happened. The week leading up to Christmas in the year 1914, dozens of ceasefires happened as men from both sides united to celebrate the holiday. Before this, 101 British suffragettes had signed a public peace address entitled The Open Christmas Letter, addressed to the women of Austria and Germany. Furthermore, Pope Benedict XV had pleaded with the governments of the warring countries to call a truce for the holiday, asking that the guns may fall silent, at least upon the nights the angels sang. All requests for a truce were denied or ignored. Despite official orders that there would be no truce, German troops stationed in Belgium were the first to initiate the truce when they decorated their trenches with lights and Christmas trees and began singing Christmas carols. The British troops responded by singing Christmas carols of their own and shouting Christmas greetings across to their opponents. Soon, men from both sides began to enter the neutral ground in between them, known as No Man's Land, where they exchanged gifts of food, tobacco, alcohol, and personal items. Bruce Barnsfather, a British captain, said, "I wouldn't have missed that unique and weird Christmas day for anything. I spotted a German officer, some sort of lieutenant, I should think, and being a bit of a collector, I intimated to him that I had taken a fancy to some of his buttons. I brought out my wire clippers, and with a few deft snips removed a couple of his buttons and put them in my pocket. I gave them 2 of mine in exchange. The last I saw was one of my machine gunners, who is a bit of an amateur hairdresser in civil life, cutting the unnaturally long hair of a docile Boche, who was patiently kneeling on the ground whilst the automatic clippers crept up the back of his neck." There were also many reports of football games played between the men of both sides throughout the truce. Many of the senior officers of both armies disapproved of the truce and ended it where they could, but in spite of their efforts, there was peace in places all over the world over the course of that week. The general good feeling that it created in the soldiers led to a widespread hope that the war would be over quickly, but it was all downhill from there. Although other truces were attempted later on for Easter and subsequent Christmases, the peace of the Christmas truce was never repeated throughout the 4 years that World War I lasted, or the 6 years of World War II. So this holiday season, remember, if the opposing forces of World War I can get along for one day, you can make it through one dinner with your relatives. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah.